Pittsburgh Penguins won again last night by a score of 5-2 over the New York Rangers. Now find themselves in the first wildcard spot, but only 1 point up ahead of Carolina, I believe, who occupies the second. New York Islanders. Regardless, they have now won 4 in a row and look for their 5th straight win on Wednesday when they head out west on their California road trip. Well, the Penguins just returned from their bye week. They played 2 games. They played Sunday and Monday. They won both, or Saturday, Sunday. And news came out on Saturday that Matt Murray would not be playing as he went back to Thunder Bay, Ontario for a family emergency. Probably someone is ill, or there's death in the family, or something personal, but he is back now. He will be traveling with the team on the road trip. So I would say see him on Wednesday, but Jari's played really well the past 2 games. I would keep riding Jari. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I'm sure Matt Murray will get in a game. He's not really had a great season. Jari's outplayed him, and at this point, we have to go with the best goalie, the hottest 10, but I definitely expect Matt Murray to maybe get a game, and maybe the week off was kind of good. He could clear his head and just relax and not have to worry about the pressure. And I mean, he knows that, he's probably set as a starter for a while. He knows it's just a little hiccup, but, Penguins have a very good 1-2 punch. And if Tristan Jarry pushes Matt Murray, one of the two could be headed out the door. Not so long ago, soon. So Penguins are very set for a while as well, because they have Gustafsson coming up, who's playing in Sweden right now, who's really good in the World Juniors, won goalie of the tournament. So Pittsburgh's future net is looking pretty good. They have some very young, good guys, so they're going to have to trade one of the 2 along the lines, because Jarry looks like he's a starter. We obviously know Murray's a starter. Gustafsson, we don't know, but he's a starter right now in Sweden. So, we'll see what happens. But very great effort for the Penguins last night. Phil Kessel continues his hot streak, was named 3rd star of the week despite it being a bye week, which I thought was hilarious. He was absolutely fantastic last night. Malkin was fantastic on Saturday with 4 points. Crosby continues his point streak. I believe he's now got a point in 4 or 5 straight games. And those 3 have really carried Pittsburgh and elevated them in this current role. So at the beginning of the season, for most of the season, we thought, why is Pittsburgh not scoring? Well, they had a very bad PDO, meaning that they were giving up a lot of goals, and they weren't scoring a lot of goals because the shooting percentage was low. Now we're seeing them regress back to the mean because they were historically unlucky. Now the goals are going in, and now the pucks are being stopped. Well, they actually have some proper depth now that Riley Shan's on the 4th line. He looks way more comfortable. Gensel's played well in the 3rd line. I still prefer Kessel with Malkin. I'm not quite sure why they're broken up. But Hagelin does provide some nice speed on that line. And Malkin, Hornquist is really versatile. It's not a bad line. And I can see kind of why Mike Sullivan did it, to spread out the scoring depth, because now you have Gensel, Sherry, and Kessel, which is a really solid 3rd line. And then you have Rowney, Tom McKay, and Reeves. Reeves is not Rowney. Sheahan, Tom McKay, and Reeves. Of course, we know Reeves is terrible, but Sheahan and Tom McKay are pretty decent. Rowney can stay out for as long as he wants, because I really like Sheahan in that role, but I do prefer Jake as on the wing. I do love him with Crosby. He's not producing as much when he's not with Crosby, or even with Malkin. But Crosby played so well, Shimon and Sprong. I mean, how can you break them up? But maybe Pittsburgh should get another center and then put Jake up with Malkin and Phil, because he played with Malkin before. And then you can put Hagelin and Horney back down together. Find a 3rd line center that can slot in there. Or put Hagelin and Kessel back together as well, because we know they work really well together. And then you have, then you can Pornquist with Malkin and Jake. And then you have a 4th line of Sheahan. And then you have Tommy K and Rowney. Remember, Brian Ross is still injured as well. He's going to be out for a long time. But, Sprong and Shimon have played very well in his absence. When he gets back, I suspect he'll, maybe slide into the Malkin line, or he'll go back to the 3rd line. And that also provides some really good depth, some really good speed for the team. And Pittsburgh is finally playing like the team that we thought they would be. They're not as good as they were in years past, but, I was really skeptical of the Alexiak trade. he's looked pretty decent. He's not looked too bad. Him and Hunwick together as a pairing is a little bit iffy, but they are pretty sheltered. Sullivan knows how to use them. He really knows how to get the most out of his players. Daly was not playing well, came to Pittsburgh, had a new lease on life. Same thing with Kessel. Same thing with Schultz. Same thing with Alexiak. It could be the Pittsburgh environment, and then Sullivan knows what to do to get the most out of his players. Letang is redeeming himself. He was named to the All-Star game, which was interesting. Kessel should have been. Crosby was, of course, because he's more marketable. But, I don't think Falk's too upset about it. But overall, I'm really liking how well Pittsburgh's playing. And if they stay in this position, they'll be playing Washington in the first round, which would be hilarious. And, even though Pittsburgh would be in the wild card spot, based on how things have gone in the past, you'd have to favor Pittsburgh. So, yeah, that's all I have for this video. Please like if you like. Subscribe if you really like it. What do you think of the rookies? Are Shimon and Sprong the new Sherry, Gunsel, and Rust? I think they definitely can be. And, they have some guys down in the minors. They have Aston Reese, who will come up next season probably, who looks like he can be a contributor. There's still Teddy Bluger, who looks like he can be a nice depth guy. They have some guys. They don't have the big-name guys, but they've done a really good job of finding diamonds in the rough lately and picking them out of obscurity, like Brian Rust, Jake Gensel, Dominic Shimon, and they don't bring their guys up too soon, except for Sprong, which was a bit of a disaster, but I think they've remedied that and learned from that, except for maybe Derek Pouliot. That was a whole other issue. So, yes, please like if you like, subscribe if you really like it, share with all your friends, tell everybody, and I'll see you Thursday. All right, after the Wednesday game. Bye for now.